Yes. Can everybody hear me? Yeah. Okay. In the last 3 years, rent in North Miami Beach has gone up by almost 30%. When we see numbers like that, most people just blame inflation. But what if I told you the real problem wasn't the economy, but a computer program? We all need a place to live. When computers secretly team up to raise prices, it hurts all of us. Whether you rent right now, want to buy a house someday, or just care about our community. Just like you, I live here, and I'm watching our housing market become completely unaffordable. I realized I needed to look past the usual excuses of inflation. So I dug into the data, the technology, and the current lawsuits to figure out what is really going on. To make sure people could still afford homes, we need to pass a law called the Preventing Augmented Collusion Act. This will stop landlords from using shared computer systems to set rent prices. First, I'll explain how these programs rate the prices. Second, I'll show how this hurts renters and buyers. Finally, I'll talk about how this new law can make things fair again. To solve this problem, we first must understand how this digital landlord works secretly. Big corporate landlords are no longer fighting for tenants. Instead, they share their private information with central AI program. The AI says to all landlords, raise prices right now. Reporters, including Heather Vogel, have discovered that software such as RealPage is using hidden competitor data to keep driving up prices every day. They're operating like a digital mafia. It's not that they're just pushing it's not that they're pushing prices up. They're also purposely keeping apartments empty. The Department of Justice found that these programs often tell landlords to leave units vacant instead of lowering the rent to fair price. This creates a fake shortage of housing. The effect on real people is terrible. When a giant computer system decides to rent, regular families cannot compete with the math of $1 billion company. It forces people to leave their neighborhoods and directly causes homelessness. The corporations using these tools have very different excuses for what they're doing. This is that their software merely makes the market efficient through its ability to help landlords make supply and demand sense. But it's not efficient, it's cheating. They ruin natural competition by sharing secret data with competitors. As Senator Amy Klobuchar says, this violates our antitrust laws. These landlords also claim they're simply using standard technology, much like software airlines use to set ticket prices. However, there is a major difference. Airlines rely on information that is available to everyone. In contrast, these real estate programs use private confidential data that competing landlords share with each other, which creates an unfair hold on on our local housing market. Finally, some urge that rent increases are just the result of normal inflation and lack of new homes. While inflation is a real factor, rent in neighborhoods using these algorithms has risen much faster than the general cost of living. This shows that technology is making the housing crisis even worse. We know the deck is stacked against them. We know their justifications are worthless. So, how do we fight back? Imagine a housing market where landlords must compete for your business. In fact, by reducing prices and improving apartments, we could do that with the Preventing Augmented Collusion Act. It will prohibit competing landlords from sharing private data, ensure government audits real estate, AI, and punish companies that cheat with heavy fines. As future leaders, we need to demand that technology helps people instead of just corporate profits. Before you sign a lease, I urge you to support this new law. Call your local representatives and research your landlords. We have yet to decide who the housing market is for. It will eventually be for the residents of homes or for computer programs draining wealth. Today, we discuss how AI establishes an illegal monopoly, the harm it causes to regular people, and the law we need to prevent it. Corporations can't be let off the hook on the excuse of efficiency. We must call on our legislators to solve this before we are priced out of our futures. The next time you see rent prices in North Miami Beach and you get the sticker shock, remember you aren't dealing with a natural market. You are fighting a machine. That's when it's time to end algorithmic price fixing. Thank you. Thank you, guys.